Hey, hi YouTube. How are you? I think you all guys are great. In this video, we are going to see SQL query practice. And till now, we have seen a lot of things like what is database, and we have also seen what is MySQL, what is SQL, and all. But mostly part was theoretical till now. So I thought to give you some a bit practical knowledge so that you can understand how we can practice MySQL. And definitely, from this video onwards, everything will be much more practical. But definitely, we are going to look up a theory a bit also. So, to practice SQL query, there are two methods. First one is to installing MySQL on your local machine. I'm not going to show you how you can do it because it's a bit tedious job and also it's easy, but sometimes based on different machines, some people face a lot of problems and they are not able to install MySQL and finally they quit it. So we can also practice this MySQL on servers like on websites. So it's quite easy and definitely there are some drawbacks like you cannot create database there, but they have there you can create your tables and definitely you can learn MySQL to a greater extent. Okay, so we are going with this method. Okay, we cannot create database there, but definitely we can do a lot of things. Okay, so what the online platforms are? So let me show you. So you just go to Google and just search query MySQL online and you can find a lot of different things. So here we can go to programmers and you can see it, or maybe you can go to W3 schools and maybe you can see it. But I feel you can choose anyone, but as of now in this course, I'm going to use programmers. So here you can see, here you can write your queries and they also already there are some tables like customer is a table, orders is a table, shippings is a table, and all things. Okay, so first of all, let's see some theory part like what actually a database is. So in previous video, I have already taught you that database is a place where you are going to store the data, and how we are storing the data it basically depends upon the type of database you are using. Like currently we are using RDBMS, which is relational database method. So we are going to store the data in table format. So basically, if you try to imagine, so this is a whole database, and inside this database, lot of different tables are there. Okay, so these tables collectively comprise and collectively they are called as database. Okay, let's suppose you are creating a database for your office. So maybe this can be some of your customer data. This can be employee data. This can be something else like sales data. Okay, so there can be multiple tables in a database. So this is actually a DB and these are the tables. In these tables, there can be rows and there can be columns. Okay, so this is how a table looks like. So currently as we are using an online platform, so we cannot create a database, but it's very easy. How you can create a database? So if you want to create a database, it's very simple. You have to just write create database. The whole MySQL is basically like a English language only. So create database shop underscore data. Let's suppose we are creating a database for our shop. So it's create database shop data. So shop data is basically the database name. Cool. So this is the name of your database. Now you can name it anything, and this is not going to be always in capital, okay? But you have there are some standards which you should follow. Like coding is not important. Writing a good code, clean code, the code that can someone else can also understand is really important. In the similar way, while we are writing this, it should be in capital and the data should be in small. Okay, so now there are also some rules for naming this database. You can name it anything, but there are some rules and regulations. You should follow it to be a good programmer. So always we should use lowercase letter as a standard for naming our databases. Now also the words should be separated by underscore. Okay. Then third point is the name should be descriptive. Like if you are storing the data of a shop, then database should be named as shop data, nothing else. Then we should avoid reserved keywords. Okay, there are some reserved keywords in MySQL. We should not use it. Okay, we will double tap on it later. This avoid reserved keyword. Now, okay. So if you are going through the this method MySQL on local, you have to create a database, this database, and then you have to if you want to use this database, because on your system you can have multiple database, office data, shop data, client data, anything. Okay, so you have to use that particular database, shop data. Now once you started using this database, then you can go into tables. So we are going to start from the tables, not from the database. Okay, so let's create a table. Okay, so we have created database. Now let's see how we can create a table. Okay, create a table. And definitely, I am going to teach you table creation in another video also, where we will again go into a bit deeper. But as of now, just for your practice, I'm showing you some. So create table. So very simple. Like here we have created a database. Here we are creating a table. What will be the table name? Products data. Okay. Let's suppose we are creating a table which is products data. Now we have created a table. We have created a table products data, but we also want to store some data, so we have to name the columns. So let's suppose first column is product id. First column is product id. Which What is the data type of that column? It is integer. We have another column, is product name. What is the data type of that column? Is varchar, is string, and the limit of that string is 50. I know if you are not from a programming background, you might be thinking what actually this data type is. I will double tap on it later. Just uh, bear with me. Then we have product price. So let's suppose another column is product price. And let's suppose currently we are making it also as string. So it is 10. Okay. I will explain you what actually these data types are in a few minutes. Okay. So now let's go to this part and let's create a table. So here already there are three tables. Let's create our own table. So create table, and we have to name our table as products underscore data. Okay. Now we are going to give our column name. So first column name is product name. We want it as integer. Okay. Then let's suppose we have product. Sorry, first one is not product name. It was product ID. Okay. Then we have product name, and this was varchar. Okay, I will explain you what actually varchar is. A word, because product names are generally words. Then we have product price. So let's suppose product price is currently we are setting it as again varchar, and we want it as length as 10. Don't forget the semicolon. Now let's run it and let's see whether a table is created or not. So here you can see SQL query successfully executed. However, the result is empty because we are not printing anything. But here you can see we have created a table names products data. And don't worry, here the first letter is capital, but we have created with letter only. And we have product ID, product name, product price. Currently it's empty, but we have created a table. And this is the schema. Schema means how many columns we have, some attributes of that columns, like it's of integer, it's of varchar, it's of varchar. Now you might be thinking that what the heck is this varchar, integer and all. So we will see the data types. But as of now, we have created a table here. Okay, so all the queries that we are making it here. So I will try to put it in a, why I'm not selected. Let me add it to a doc so that in future we can see it. Okay, it was not getting selected, but when I printed it, it was here. So that I can provide it to you later. Okay. So if we have to create a table, this is our query. Okay. Create table, then we have the table name, then we have column name, data type. Now let's see what actually data type is. Okay. So let's go and let's see what is data type. Okay. So it's really important to understand what actually data type is. So if you are not from a programming background, this word might confuse you what actually data type is. So currently we have created a table. Okay. Now in this table we will store some data in SQL. So we have to specify that this column will store which type of data. It can be number, it can be decimal number, it can be string, it can be date, it can be date time, or anything else. So initially we have to specify that this column will hold a number only. This column will hold a like string only. Okay, so that's why we need data type. It's just a type of the data that is going to be stored in this database. Okay, so let's see what different data types we have. First of all, we have numeric data. So numeric data, first we have integer. Integer means whole number, like we have 1 2 3 2 4 5. Then we have decimal. This is nothing, just can say floating point values, like 10.2. Then we have lot other things like float, double, we have small int, we have big int, but these two are really int and decimal. You can explore this thing. Just go to Google and explore like what is float, what is double, what is small, and what is big int. Because I can't cover each and everything just a video, and we should also leave something for you to explore. But I will explain the things which are generally, or you can say mostly, which are used. Then we have string data type. String data type, in first we have char, which is character. Okay, if you are from a non-programming background, it might be a tougher for you. Let's suppose I will make you easy. Let's suppose we call it as a word which is YouTube. Now this Y, this O, this U is actually a character. Okay, and this whole is a string. No, it is a word, but in programming we call it as string. And this string is equivalent to varchar in case of my programming language. You see it as a string, but here we call it as varchar. So character, a single character, a single letter, and the word is actually varchar. Okay, but while we are specifying varchar, we have to also tell what is the limit. Like the name can't be more than 50 characters. Have you seen any name more than 50 characters? No, I don't even have seen more than 20 characters. So you have to put some limits, because database is also running on some memory. So memory is not infinite. Then we have also text. We have also long text. Can explore this too on your own. This too is really, really important. Care and where care. Then we have some more data types. One of the data type is date and time. So in date and time, we have first one we have is date. So when we have to store the date, then time when we have to store the time. Then third is when we have to store date and time both. Okay. Um, then on fourth, we have timestamp when we have to store timestamp. Fifth, we have year. I think this is self-explanatory. Date, date and time, and year is really, really important. Whatever is important, I'm marking. Then fourth, we have Boolean data type. So Boolean data type is nothing, it's just 0 and 1. And how we represent Boolean. So it's just 0 and 1, nothing else. Or you can say true and false. Okay, generally, it is true and false. Okay. So let's suppose you are having a column like is married, true or false. Okay, not 0 and 1. Actually, it's true and false. Okay. Then fifth, we have binary data type. Okay. So binary data type is like there are two things like blob storage and var binary. You will not find it generally, but you can like explore it about it, like what is blob, what is var binary, how it what actually gets stored in blob storage and then we have some more for your information, like we have spatial data type. These things are not um, this will be not used currently for tutorial, so I'm not very deep, but in future we will use it and I can explain you better. So it is enum set JSON. Then we also have a data type which is called as UUID, which is it is called as universally unique identifier. So we will also explore it later. But the one which are with asterisk is really, really important. Int, decimal, char, var, date, date, time, year, boolean. So you should know this. Okay. And okay. So this is all about data type. And here we have also created a table. Okay. So we have created a table. Um, we have created a table. Here you can see. Uh, now I don't want to go into very deep. I just want to show you how we can add some data into the tables. Okay, so how we can do it? Don't worry, we'll have a separate video for this. But as of now, I'm just don't you don't have to execute it. Just take care of, just look at it and see what we can do in databases. Okay, so insert into, then we have to give our table name, which is products underscore data. So this was our table name. Okay, then we have to also specify the columns. Okay, there are different ways to add the data, but this is one of the way. So we have columns as product ID. We have also column as product name. We have also column as product price. Okay, so we have these three columns. Now here we have to add the values. So values. Okay, now which values we have to add? I'm adding a semicolon. Okay, so let's suppose first one is product ID, which is an integer. So let's suppose 1, 2, 3. Then let's add a product. Let's table. Okay, let's add the price. So price is also in our case it is string. Okay, and the limit is 10. So let's suppose make it 120. Let's suppose 40.5. Okay, so if I will execute it, one row will be inserted. But let's suppose add some more data to it. So next is 124, and let's suppose we want to add chair, and the price is, let's suppose, 10.6. We have also cup, and the price is, let's suppose, 2.0. Okay, so if I will execute it, then we are going to insert three rows. Okay, because plus one, two, three, three rows we have inserted. Don't worry, I will teach you. There will be a complete different session on how to insert the data. I just want to show you. Okay, so here we have product ID, product name, product price. Okay, so here you can see we have different rows. Okay, this is how we can insert the data. Okay, so let's copy it and add it here in Google Docs, because this is running on a server, and after some time we are going to lose this data. Insert data. We are going to have a very different session on how to create tables, all things. Okay, now the last thing. Okay, how we can look what actually is in a table. Okay, so there are multiple tables. So we have customer table, orders table, products data, shippings. So now let's see how we can see how many, what different things are there in a table. Because the, see, this is how we know that you will be not having any knowledge about what data we have in the table. You just know that we have a table which is products data. So if you want to see something, so we call it as select asterisk, means everything from that table. Table name is products data. Okay, so if I will execute it, I can see each and everything inside this products data. We have inserted this three data and we are able to see it. Let's suppose we want to see customer tables. Okay, customers table. Run SQL, and here you can see in this customer table there are five records. This is how we can see the data. Okay, so there are a lot of different operations which we can carry on. So this is how we are going to execute our query, and we are going to learn in the future. Like, we are going to have lot of different things, like how we can create a table, how we can insert the table, how we can query the database, how we can filter, how we can drop a table, how we can drop a database, and how we can modify the data. All things are going to come in the upcoming videos, where we are going to see like we can say video by video. Okay, how we can create the table, how we can insert it, delete it, modify it, and each and everything. So in this video, we have seen about how we can practice the SQL on local or server. We will prefer server, how we can create a database, how we can use a database, how we can create tables, what is database, but we will double tap on it later, creating, inserting, deleting, updating each and everything. So that's it for this video. Meet you in the next video where we will see how we can create a table. Meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.